Good morning, everybody. Orange J here with another War of the Visions video, and we've got a lot of Final Fantasy VIII news, updates, all of that coming out over the next few days. What I wanted to start with today was our old units, Squall, Renoa, Irvine, what kind of upgrades they're getting, including a new weapon for Irvine and upgrades to Squall and Renoa's weapon. So a lot to get to there. I'll do some Cypher stuff tomorrow, including team building with him, but I want to spend a little bit more time looking at potential team comps with him before I get into him too deep. So let's start today with our upgrades to our old units, and of course I'm going to start with Squall. I have a max reincarnated Squall. I might be one of the few people in the game who has that. I love this unit, and he is getting absolutely hooked up in this collaboration in more ways than one. First of all, he's getting his master ability too, so let's focus on that to start. Upgrade skill Honeycomb Barrier. Squall is the guy that brought Honeycomb Barrier to War of the Visions in the big way. Like, he brought this on the scene, and upgrading that skill for him is a signature upgrade. I do like that a lot. His group buff stays the same, reaction block rate, AoE resist stays the same, but then he's getting more damage, which he really needed. He lacked damage in his master ability the first time around. They are addressing that here by giving him 10 slash attack resist penetration and 30 AoE resistance penetration. Love that. Great little upgrade for him there. And if we go look at the Honeycomb Barrier upgrade, it's really straightforward. The buff still does exactly the same thing, but now instead of lasting for 3 turns, it'll last for 4 turns. This puts him more in line with what, modern units do. There's a cat in the background. What's he doing? He's licking his belly. Okay. Background kitty. Anyway, 4 turns instead of 3. It's not necessarily as good of a buff as some of the brand new units in the game, but slash and strike resist is good, and then the physical and magic reduction is good as well. You still are going to run this thing. Now it'll just last for 1 more turn, which, oh my gosh, excuse me. Which, since it's his self buff, will basically mean this lasts through the whole fight. Now, would it be nice if they made this into a group buff? Of course it would, but they didn't. This is what they did instead. That's what we're getting for Squall. Now, his Lionheart upgrade. Let's talk about this next. The +6 becomes really interesting. The attack version only gains about, 17 more attack. So not a lot there, but the crit version gains 10 more crit rate. You might actually want to build the crit rate version of the Lionheart. Also, if we look at the buffs down here, you're gaining, upon critical hit, CT up 50. So really a unit built around critting, built around AoE attacks now. I like the direction they took Squall in. They basically addressed what was his, he was always a hard unit to kill. And if you have him max reincarnated in a perfect group, he did enough damage, but now he's doing more damage. So I like this upgrade for him. Underrated unit. I'm going to be using him a lot going forward. Another thing, and I don't want to talk about this too much yet because this goes into Cypher's like team building comps. Next week, we're going to be getting a vision card. This one right here, the Cypher and Bros vision card. This card is important for Cypher, obviously, but it also hits Sword Knight, which is Squall's job, and it's an AoE resist card. This group has been waiting for an AoE resist card forever. Like, they have needed this for the longest time, and so Squall is also catching that upgrade with the Final Fantasy VIII rerun. That's a big deal. Okay, Renoa is next. So Renoa's master ability 2 looks like this. Her group buff stays the same. She's doubling her activation time down. That's nice. Man, excuse me. Let's see if I remember to cut that. Probably not. Anyway, her lightning resist 15 is staying the same. Then she's catching 10 more healing power and 25 debuff effect weakening. So a decent little master ability upgrade there for her. If you're a Renoa fan, you're still going to be a Renoa fan. I don't know if she saw a ton of play. I think this unit does have just a ton of potential, though. I've kind of always thought that about her. I know Ready Player Will's had some nice things to say about her as well. Her weapon is catching its +1. This is one of the ones that you just farmed from the bingo board, so it doesn't get a +6, it just gets a +1. The magic gets a huge bump, almost 40, right? What is that, like 36 more magic? That's big. And then if you look at the buff details, it's picking up reduced magic damage taken by 10% when her HP is above 70%, and AoE resist pin 10. Getting that same AoE resistance buff, a less version of it, but like her and Squall both getting that AoE resistance buff. And then Irvine, a dark unit. So if you were building Cypher into a dark team, which I'm telling you right now, even before I do the Cypher team building videos, the dark team for him is probably going to be the B team, right? That's the JV team. The A rank team for him is definitely going to be a job-based team, but that's not a surprise to anybody who's playing War of the Visions right now. Anyway, if you were building a dark team, Irvine's getting hooked up. He is getting a ton of love, like maybe enough love to be playable. Let's look. So his dark buff stays the same. His attack and AP consumption buff stays the same. I'm getting a phone call. I better remember to cut that phone call out of the video. Otherwise, it's going to be really boring. Anyway, Irvine getting hooked up. His old buffs stay exactly the same. He picks up 30 human killer with physical attacks. Like, that is a big boost to his damage and makes him, instead of like a utility damage dealing hybrid guy, leaning more into the damage dealing version. Like, this is a dude I was running at 97 faith when I played him to try and get some status effects landed. I'll still probably do that, but now he'll do more damage. He also gets reduced physical damage taken by 25% 2 times. So that's really good. And then, yeah, that's it for him. Besides, he catches a new gun. So his new gun is 195 attack, 12 accuracy, 20 crit rate. Buff only for him. My goodness. Folk, man, this video I feel like is really busted, and I should probably re-record the whole thing, but I'm not going to, because some parts of it are worth keeping. Heartwarming, right? Anyway, give him 20 defense penetration, 15 more human killer. So he walks in with this gun equipped and his master ability too. He walks in with 45 human killer, just with that, without counting vision cards or espers or anything. And it gives him 15 crit rate. Like, he's going to do some damage. And if you were trying to run him with Cypher, I think there is some opportunity there for our boy Irvine and the dark element. Maybe you're gonna have to find a third unit to run, which there's plenty of dark units out there, and I think a lot of people like, I mean, maybe you even just go old Sephiroth. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't played with that enough yet to really want to comment fully on it. Look for that video tomorrow, maybe after Cypher's just like unit kit review. All right, thank you guys for watching. A lot of editing to do in this one before I release it, thanks to all of the distractions. The cat went back to sleep. Anyway, I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.